Hey everyone, we are in a undisclosed location with lightning, I think, behind us. As you see it, you might see some lightning behind us, but we're in New Mexico. It's a beautiful autumn evening. We got Eric Jacobsen and Mitch Baird next to me here, and I don't know. We just decided to do a little talk. It's about, I don't know, almost 9 o'clock at night. We had our dinner and kind of winding down, and we just wanted to, we thought, like, what are we going to talk about? I said, why don't we talk about just hanging out, being together? I think that's a good one. I have one microphone, and Mitch has one on, but I'm going to give it to Eric. And I don't know if you guys can kind of talk about that, maybe just sharing some things.
Eric and I go way back. We met,
Yeah.
what? I mean, it's been
20 years.
20 years ago.
Has to be 20 years now, yeah.
And he was right off the bat when we met. It was like just kind of bosom buddies. We knew we were right,
Yep.
kind of the same route, same school of thought. And for the last 20 years, man, we've been painting together,
Yeah.
doing trips all over the country. But what I value that most, along with Gabor and some of the other friends that we paint with, is there's a camaraderie there that I just don't find, obviously, around home. Even when you have locals, it's like you get together with friends that are really close, and not only you out adventuring and exploring, but there's this kind of unspoken um unspoken ambition and inspiration that you have, because you're always like, wow, look at that design right there, wow, look at that lead in right there. And he'll, I may say that, and he keys on it, and he may say, man, look at that color note right there that I would have missed. And it's just fun to be able to banter and kind of see what's in your friend's head and how he sees design.
Yeah.
By the way, you guys might not see this, but look at the moon.
What do we got? Hey, there it is. We've been waiting for it tonight.
We've been
Here it is.
waiting for it. But moments like this, you're gonna remember that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna remember. Well, the moon was coming up, and you can recall this for the rest of your life. So I think that's why it's important for all of you to get out with the people. Obviously, we're talking about art here, painters. So painters that you might enjoy being with, and just go out, and you might not have to spend overnight, but get out into nature. At least go until sunset. I think there's something special about that when you stay until sunset. I think,
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing is that we were talking earlier, and
Yep.
if you're an artist, you're well aware that most of your life spent by yourself,
Yep.
or for the most part, doing your work, whether you're in the studio or outdoors. But we get out together, and we do a whole lot more than paint. That's for sure. We take a lot of pictures. We cover a lot of ground. Mitch is good at helping me to do that. Well, yeah, we tease Mitch because he's going to go and he's going to find that perfect spot. But one thing I will say is, over the years, what I've learned from Mitch is that it does pay to, maybe take some extra time and go around every corner or up this hillside.
Literally every okay. Come on, Eric, just say what it is.
Yeah, well,
Go in the caves.
Don't sugarcoat it,
Yeah.
God.
But there's something to be said for, just spending some time, getting out and really penetrating the wilderness a little bit. And sometimes you find, you always find something you didn't expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You grew up.
Even today.
You grew up camping.
Yeah, I grew
Eric,
up a
so-
lot of camping, and so I enjoy it. And
What's fun is that on these little adventures, we always have either an inside joke or something that happened. Usually happens to me because I'm bad luck Mitch. But
No, you're not.
but it's always like, being
Just because your car gets towed in a snowstorm.
That's right. Just because we almost die when we blow a tire in the middle of a
That's
snowstorm in
I
Flagstaff.
pulled that off the road. That was pretty smooth.
I must say that was.
But we have things that we look back on, like, remember that one time? We have these jokes all the time. Remember that one time? Anyway,
There's a lot of remember that one time.
but that's what makes it fun. You build relationships. You learn to not only bounce ideas off of other, but to get advice. I'm always asking Eric now, what do you think of this? Or
And I never have an answer.
Oh yeah.
Nah. Well,
So it's fun to it's almost in a sense like education or a school, because you're exploring your ideas and sharing them and gaining insights from someone else.
And it's from direct observation, which is so key. We always talk about that as you guys teach and you tell your students all the time, you got to get out there and observe it from life. And cameras are great and all that, but it's not a substitute.
yeah, the other thing I would say about that is when I return from a lot of these trips, I have a lot of studies and a lot of memories and a lot of photos. I don't have a lot of paintings I'm going to put in a frame, but that's never for me been the point of it. It's not the point of it. A finished painting is not really the point. It can be your goal.
Yeah.
But I find we usually have a better time when we don't make that the goal. That's why we enjoy doing this outside of the these plein air event things. Nothing wrong with them, but we don't have to put anything in a frame.
Yeah. Actually, Eric and Mitch is here for Papa's. Mitch is the president of Papa, so El Presidente. Yes. But you guys are going to be hanging together with the rest of the members. There's about how many? 30?
I think there's
some.
almost, well, yeah, there's over 30 artists, and we'll have probably close to 30 attending. I think there's 44 paintings in the show, and 30 some odd artists coming. So.
Okay, so you guys, that's part of this whole thing too with Papa, the getting together and painting too. Same thing what we're doing here. Yeah. So just on a larger scale.
And just a note, if you have a group to join, it's good. Papa has an annual event, and it's a private just membership invitation where we as members of that group get together and kind of show work. Obviously, we try to get into museum exhibits, and we paint once a year, and we have an annual meeting, and we rub shoulders and kind of build our relationships, because many times we don't see those people for a full year.
Yeah.
But you've got a local painting group. Get out and do it, Eric. That's how he and I, we were friends. We do, but we also had some friends that did it, and we would use every chance we could to get out and just hang out together, And
we could tell some stories, but we're not going to.
Yeah, that's right.
There's some that we don't want to tell because, well, this is a family show, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, but the idea also is after you're done painting for the day, make a campfire, like hang out. That I think those memories will last even longer, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's a good time.
I find that when I get home, I in fact, I've changed this over the last couple of years. I would get really motivated and really inspired, and I'll go home, and then I get right on another project or something I'd left, on the easel already. Then I may go a month or two without visiting the stuff I just done, and I'm changing that now, that I want to go home and immediately attack the images and the sketches from the trip, because your memory's fresh. You'll always have the memory, but it is fresher when you come home from a trip like that. Plus the inspiration kind of gets you juiced about, doing something.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't get too encouraged. I mean, whatchamacallit, when you bring those paintings home, they never look the same way they looked on the easel. So don't get discouraged, I should say.
Well, you'll get some surprises, though. Yeah. The thing is, when you're out with a group, as Mitch was saying before, he was mentioning, one of us may point something out. Gabor may point something out that I wasn't seeing, or Mitch is really good at that. He'll say, "Dude, look behind you. There'll be this great cloud that I wouldn't have seen." But sometimes when you get home, you find that you have these nice little studies or little notes that you are better than you thought. Meaning, that just because you were out there for a few days, you were working hard, you weren't trying to make anything to put in a frame, but you end up going for stuff and really having a good time and learning. And so pushing your boundaries, maybe, or maybe even going to a place. Maybe Mitch wants to go to a place that I wouldn't normally paint at, and I end up loving it, but I wouldn't have thought to stop there.
Yeah.
I think the observation part's important too. Like you said, you get home, like, wow, I would have never remember. I remember putting that color down, but it kind of didn't hit me until I get home and look at it. And then you pull up the photo and you're like, oh my gosh, like 2/3 of what I put in the painting isn't even in the photo. And that's what the value of those sketches are, is you've, through observation, you are capturing those colors that your camera just won't give you.
Yeah, even though you might think it's like, oh, it didn't work and all this stuff, but that 2 hours or hour and a half, whatever, how long, will actually give you dividends for years and years to come. So it's very important to observe from life, even though it might not be quote unquote fun all the time, you know. But again, going back to the whole camaraderie thing, it's try to get together with your friends, stay for sunset. I think it'll have more of an impact for good memories. So
Yeah. The other thing is, if the more we do this with Mitch, the smaller his head gets, because I don't know, it keeps him humble,
You gotta do that.
We like to cut him down, and he likes to cut me down, and
Oh yeah,
in a friendly way.
Very reserved right now.
we don't want.
He's being reserved. So the funny thing is, we laugh about this a lot because, us guys and whoever your friends are, you do the same thing, but you're out there, and he'll walk by and there'll be other people who don't know us very well, and he'll throw it off and remark at me, and I'll just ignore it or laugh, and they'll think, why did he say that?
Yeah.
Why would he say that? That's so mean. And like, no, he's not being mean.
I think it's worse going to Eric's head. Like in his work, if you take a workshop from Eric, he throws in random absurd baby pictures and tells people me.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
So you guys are actually hearing this in action right now between Mitch and Eric.
Yeah, the banter.
Yeah.
Banter.
Prison buddies. We like to have fun in our students.
But that's a big part of it for us too. Obviously, I mean, we like to joke around and have fun, but we're working pretty hard when we're out here. I guess we're paying attention, and Gabor, he's exactly the same. We're all the same tribe, and those of you who are watching this, I guarantee you're if you're a painter, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
A little mix of levity with some hard work is a good recipe for a good time and good learning.
And I'm going to add to the idea of go easy on yourself. This stuff is very, especially when you're out observing for hours and hours on end, the brain's making millions of millisecond decisions on comparisons and dealing with the sun and all the things.
Getting sunburned.
Yeah, getting sunburned.
Which Mitch did today.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah.
But your brain gets tired, and we came down to camp, and I was really wanting to just kick it and relax. But in the back of my mind, there's a spot I wanted to see with the sun. And as tired as I was,
Did you paint?
I did. Yeah,
Oh, you did?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I gotta go see.
We set up camp because Eric got in the day before and he was real tired. I have the dogs with me today, so I do require. So, but Mitch went
by
out.
myself, drove up the road, 7 miles, and then set up and did a painting. And I'm glad I did. I'm pretty brain tired, but
Yeah, we'll sleep well tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to do this we were gonna have a little fire pit, but it was so windy that earlier that we couldn't set up the fire beforehand. But we hope you enjoyed this episode of just talking with amongst friends, and I hope this inspires you to get out with your own friends and share some great memories. So thanks everyone.
Thank you. Get
Bye.
out there.
Good night. For us, it's good night.